Hello everyone, my name is Addie and I own my own small business called Plantventions on plantventions.com, and today I'll be packing a plant order. So this is succulent. I put all my succulents in terracotta pots. A lot of people call them Shrek's ear succulents or ogre ear succulents. So yeah, that's what this is. I think it's a 2.5 inch pot, so it's pretty small, but not like super tiny. Okay, so when I'm packaging my succulents, the first thing I do is I take some tissue paper. When I'm packaging my plant pots that I also sell on my website, if you look at my other videos, I use colored tissue paper for those because I think it looks nice, but I don't use colored tissue paper for packaging plants because I don't want the color to bleed because the soil can be moist sometimes. And the thing I'm using this tissue paper for, I'm placing it on top of the soil so that when the plant is shipped, the soil will not fall out of the pot. So it's pretty useful, and I don't use a lot. I mean, this isn't a very big pot, but you can see that piece I had wasn't that big, and I really, didn't need the whole thing. So you can see it looks like this. Okay, now the next step I do is to take some masking tape. I like using masking tape because it's easy to get off and it sticks well. So I use masking tape to make sure the tissue paper stays inside well. So I just tape over, and you can see the tape doesn't stick to the pot the best all the time. That's because this plant was watered. I like to water my plants a day before I ship them. Since the terracotta is porous, the tape doesn't always like to stick to the pot, but that's fine. That's why the edges are kind of moving out like this. That's why I just do all this to make sure that the plant is nice and safe, and the soil won't fall out. See, when it's being shipped. Okay, so I am going to kind of fold this tape down, but if it doesn't stick to the pot itself, it's not that big of a deal. So you can see it looks like this. Okay, now another thing I have that I include in all my orders that have live plants in them is this. I'm pretty sure it's backwards so you can't read it. It says succulent plant care guidebook, succulent and cacti. And I give this to all the people that order succulents, and it's just some care information that helps, because a lot of people know how to take care of plants, but I also have a lot of customers that just like to get plants to support me, but they don't really know how to take care of them, which I truly appreciate. I know I don't say it enough. I could say it days and days, for days and days, but I do really appreciate everyone who supports me, and even people that don't purchase, people that just watch my videos or or follow my page. I really appreciate it because I wouldn't be able to have a business without you guys. So I just cut it out. And I used to put these in color, but I do it in black and white now, because I found it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, now the next thing is grabbing a box. This is just a 4x4 inch box. It's a pretty small box, but it's something that looks good for this because it's just a small plant, so I don't really need a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna get some tape, and luckily this won't be a very heavy package, which is always a good thing. So I'm just gonna put some tape on the bottom. And I actually need to get some more boxes because I have these 4x4 inch ones, which I really love. And I also have some 10x10 inch ones, which is a very big difference in size. So I found myself, like if you see my last video, I found myself needing to resize my boxes like all the time, which is basically when you take a small box and a bigger box, and you make it smaller by like cutting it and stuff. It's not hard, it just takes time, and time's pretty valuable. Okay, so I got the bottom taped to the box like this, and now I'm going to get some packing paper. So I'll be right back. Okay, I got some paper. I don't know if I need this much, but I figured I'd have more than I need just in case. I'm just gonna kind of like make a, first I'm gonna put some on the bottom, like this, for the plant to sit on, and then I'm gonna make like a thing around the plant to hold it in. Packaging is pretty important, obviously to protect the plant, but I also want to protect the pot. Because, you know, luckily since these pots are so small, they're pretty thick, so they're not like fragile. They're all fragile because they're potted, but they're not as fragile as a bigger planter. It's like that. So I have a little hole to put the plant in. Now I'm thinking I probably should have put the care instructions in first, but I can do that at the end if I need to. And cause I used to put these on cardstock, but I realized it's a lot easier to print it on regular paper because it folds down a lot smaller. Just like this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and slide that in next to the plant like that. Gonna use the rest of my packing paper to just cover the plant. And it also is good because even though I water them before I ship them, it's also good to have them be a little bit dehydrated before you ship them, because it makes them like it makes the leaves kind of flexible, which makes them less likely to break if, you know, there's a little bit of pressure being put on them. So just having a paper like this, and I'm gonna close it up. Whenever I do close it up, I open it back up after to check it's not putting too much pressure on the plant, because I get a bit worried sometimes. And now I'm ready to tape it. Yeah, it's crazy how much goes into packing an order, you know, small business order. You know how much thought you have to put into this stuff. It takes quite a bit. But, you know, I wouldn't trade this for anything else. I love running my business. And I hope you guys love it too. Okay. So that is this order finished. So yeah, thank you for watching me package this. Let me know what you guys think of the longer videos. I like them. I don't know if you like them. I just feel like they're more realistic instead of me cutting every 5 seconds to do something off camera and then turning the camera back on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to support my website, you can do that at plantinventions.com, and have an amazing day. Bye!